Let's take the next 10 minutes to become embodied into this present moment that we're in right now. Wherever you are, however you are, let's begin by bringing our hands to our heart. And simply notice your heartbeat. Is it fast or slow? Is it steady? Simply tune in to the beat of your own heart, noticing your heart chakra space and all that it holds in this moment. Without judging it, without trying to change it or make it any different than it is right now, simply notice. You can start this moment by asking your heart space what it needs. And we're just going to add a simple rock, a simple sway side to side. Notice how that feels. Maybe you let your head go side to side with your little sway. Maybe you don't. Perhaps you begin to notice any achiness or tension or tightness in your body. Come to some stillness and take a moment. Notice what that did for you. Did your heart beat a little faster? Did it slow down? Maybe nothing changed at all. And every single option is okay. Take this moment to recognize that as we move through today's practice, because somatics is a practice, something that we do again and again to bring us back to ourselves, to bring us back to our bodies. Recognize that it's important to simply be present with what and who you are right now. And as we begin to move our bodies together, recognize that it's not what it looks like, it's what it feels like. The most important part is noticing what it feels like as you move through these movements. Take a moment and let your opposite hand come to your opposite shoulder and give yourself a little hug. You might find yourself on an exhale, rolling your spine towards the back of the room, and on the inhale, rolling your heart forward. Maybe your elbows come up. Again, exhale, roll your spine back. And inhale, roll your spine forward. Again, exhale, roll it back. And inhale forward. One more time, exhale back. And inhale forward. Come to neutral, let your elbows drop, and allow your fingers to just start tapping. Hands are still crossed. Now slow that little tap down so that your tap goes right hand on the clavicle. This is your clavicle bone here, right here. And then pause, left hand on your clavicle. Notice how my arms are still crossed here. It's okay if your arms aren't crossed. Now we're going to just slowly go back and forth. So right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand, until you kind of get into a little flow with that tap. Until it's back and forth, back and forth. This is called a butterfly hug. Notice what your breath does as we move through this butterfly hug. Is anything coming up? Simply allow it. Slowly come to some stillness. Hands rest. Release your arms down. Let them fall down like jelly on your mat or the floor. Take a moment. Maybe you start to move your shoulders side to side, up and down, rolling them back. Slowly, the shoulders begin to alternate, going up, back, and down. Rolling to the other side, up, back, and down. Get in that flow of moving side to side. And again, come to some stillness in your own time. Now take a moment and notice your right shoulder. We've just started to activate and move the shoulders around, and our shoulders are a place we hold so much stress, so much tension, so much energy and trauma. Shoulder is the place of carrying, shouldering burdens. So if you notice you've had a lot of stress, you might start to notice that your shoulders actually feel heavy or tight or tense. Shoulders are located in the space surrounding your heart chakra, but also your throat chakra. So your throat and heart chakra might be activated as we start to move through and work with the shoulder space. So just a few more moments in this practice. Stick with me if you can. So allow your hands, and if you can, your palms to touch the mat or floor or bed or chair. It doesn't matter because you can be anywhere doing this practice. Now your right shoulder, again, you're going to start to notice it. Maybe you give it a little wiggle. Do you notice your shoulder without moving it? Or do you need to move it to notice it? It's okay either way. But as you're ready, as slow as you possibly can, begin to draw your right shoulder up towards your ear. Again, as slow as you can. Reverse molassesing. Okay. Now you might get to a point where your shoulder comes up and you're feeling some tension, you're feeling some tightness. That's okay. So you're just going to pause when your shoulder gets to a place where it feels like a stopping point. And as you're ready, slower than you did before, slower, as slow as cold molasses, begin to release your shoulder down. as slow as you possibly can. You might feel your right shoulder release. You might feel like there's more room in your shoulder. You might not, and that's okay. You might have to do this a couple of times. Once your shoulder gets all the way down, take a breath in and open mouth, let it out. Now we're going to move on to the left side. So that left shoulder, simply notice it first. Maybe you give it a little wiggle, just a little wiggle around. See what's going on in there. Bring it to some stillness. And then, again, on your left side, as slow as you possibly can, begin to bring your left shoulder up. Super slow. Remember, our timing can be different. So you're going to hit a point where you either feel some tension or pain, or just a point where it feels like your shoulder doesn't go up anymore. And when you get there, you're going to pause for at least 3 seconds, maybe more. And as you're ready, slower than before, as slow as molasses sliding down your back, you're going to allow your left shoulder to release down. Slow, slow, slow. And when you get to the bottom, your shoulder comes all the way down. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose and let it out your mouth. Now, depending on how you've been sitting, you can take a moment to let your legs come out long or wide. Kind of give your legs a little shimmy shake here. Okay. Wiggle your toes. You might start to rock back and forth here, keeping some movement in your legs, allowing your knees to bend here as you rock forward and back, forward and back. Then the bottoms of your feet come to the mat. I'm sitting up here on a block. You can sit up on a pillow or a short stool, but I'm going to allow my feet to come to the mat. Okay. Take a moment, and again, you might find a little bit of a rock, little bit of a rock. Rocking can be very soothing. Your arms, let them do whatever they want. Do they want to reach forward? Do they want to kind of grasp your knees? Do they feel better supporting you on the ground behind you? But we're going to find a little bit of a rock here. Slowly come to some stillness. Bring the bottoms of your feet to the floor again, but your feet are going to be side by side in front of you. So your knees are going to kind of come together a little bit. All right. Now your knees are just going to drop side to side. Now, if you're up on a stool much higher than this, you might need to come down, okay? But your hands are behind you, your knees are dropping side to side, and you're just opening up and waking up your hips, because once you start to wake up your shoulders, you can work into your hips a bit. Slowly, slowly, side to side. And then come to some stillness, coming back to neutral. Bottoms of the feet come back down. Knees come in towards your body. Maybe you hug your knees and drop your head towards your knees, giving yourself a hug, thanking yourself for being here. Thank yourself for showing up, for doing the work of coming into your body, of slowing down, of being present in the moment for yourself. Healing takes time, and it takes presence, and it takes profound self-compassion. Let's build those things together one by one. As you're ready, slowly begin to release your arms. Come into a seat comfortable for you. Hands come back to your heart. This has been a short practice, but hopefully it's been helpful. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you next time.